Yeah.
But what it is now is not good. What it is now is assault on women's sports. And the idea that anybody would think it's fair that someone who is number 462 as a man, 462 in the nation, is number 1 as a woman a year later.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
You don't think maybe it was her passion for swimming that got her to number 1?
Could be. It's just an amazing
Or a
woman.
change in diet?
Could be.
Could be that.
Could be.
Yeah.
Just becoming her true self.
I can't think of
allowed her
any
to be
other
a winner.
factor it could be. I'm just going passion for swimming.
Maybe. You're probably right. But that might be the woke straw that breaks the society's camel back.
You're starting to see a lot of those now.
Women are so frustrated because if you or parents, if your daughter is competing and they're competing against a trans woman, it's not fair. It's just not fair, no matter what anybody says. There's this nonsense idea of like, well, there's outliers and all. There's outliers, and then there's biological males.
Right.
That's beyond outliers.
There's always exceptions. The ancient Greeks used to say there's no rule without an exception, but you can't define what it is based on the exceptions.
Well, it's interesting because in all other aspects of society, it's pretty much a given that, you know, a person can become trans and change their name, and we're all pretty accepting of it. Where people have the most pushback is in sports,
Right.
athletic competition. That's where the real pushback is.
Right.
Where people are like, hey, the fuck?
Right.
This is not fair. This is clearly not fair. There's a reason why we have a distinction between men and women's sports.
And it's ironic because the people on that side usually always champion equality and nobody having an advantage, and you know, the people who are maybe disenfranchised or less capable should have an equal opportunity. And by throwing someone like Leah Thomas in there, you're kind of that's the opposite of that.
I think it's also probably terrible for the whole trans movement because it makes people more cynical about what the positive aspects of it are, and it makes people more, less likely to accept it because they think of trans people and trans rights, and they connect it to this athletic thing.
It's a great point. Yeah, yeah.
It's probably making people more distrustful or more upset or less accepting.